is good, you guys? It is DND, and we're back with another video. This video is kind of a little bit differently, as you can see. It's structured a little bit differently, just because it is more of a sit-down video that we're doing. And we kind of wanted to inform you guys, or like update you guys, basically on a major change which we have made in the past month or so, which had to do with our lifestyle, of course, or like, our way of living, actually. But this topic is kind of like more serious for us. I know it might kind of like sound like
dumb to other people.
Like dumb to other people, just
or not
because.
dumb, but like,
yeah, but like
not as important.
Not as important, just because it's like, oh, like, But at the end of the day, like, everybody's body reacts differently to things, and like, But in my like, for me actually, or for us, this is kind of like a bigger deal. Yeah. And I know also for a lot of people it is. So we kind of just wanted to bring a little bit of awareness, or share our story of like what has gone on for the past
almost
for
6
me
years.
For me, it'll be like 10 years now, actually. For you?
Right, but it wasn't consistent for 10 years.
It wasn't consistent for 10 years, but...
For you, it's probably like 7 or 8.
7-8 years.
For me, it's like almost... It would have been 6 now.
Yeah, and it was an addiction that I know a lot of people do have, and like, I'm not completely against it.
At all. We just wanted to like give more awareness to it, because obviously we're 22 years old, so most of our audience is around the same age as us. And I know most of our audience does the same thing, and could probably be struggling with the same thing that we were struggling with.
Yeah, at the end of the day, a lot of people do this. A lot of people who you think
don't. It's very normal.
Which
also is part of the problem.
Yeah.
Because like it kind of makes you feel like it's normal.
Yeah.
So like
in today's time, is more normalized than like in your parents' generations, or like,
it was not.
In your grandparents' generations, it was completely different. Because when my mom found out, like, it was all hell broke loose. Like.
Yeah.
But
to cut to the chase, y'all. The big news is that we are not gonna do YouTube anymore. So, no, I'm playing. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, the big news is that we stopped gardening.
Sorry. For the purpose of this video, we're gonna be using a specific term that is called gardening.
If you know, you know. If you don't know, then you're not supposed to know.
Yeah. So yeah, if you don't know what gardening is, just exit the video and just don't watch it, because it is what it is.
Or you're gonna be really confused. But yeah, we stopped gardening, guys. We made a very, very serious decision. We made a very serious decision. In the end of 2024, that we were going to be very serious about not gardening this year. For multiple reasons.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons behind it. So, to give you a backstory, we have nonstop... He's been doing it for way longer than I have.
Yeah, so, like, the first time I ever gardened, or, like, chiefed... We're gonna use that word, too, because a lot of you guys know chiefed, gardened...
yeah, but that's such a ghetto word. Don't say that.
Whatever. Garden, chiefed. I've been gardening since I was probably... Well, I tried it when I was first 12 years old. Obviously, I've been an athlete all my life, so I didn't really have the chance to always consistently garden like that, So I tried it when I was 12, a lot of people have. And then I didn't touch it again till I was like... I didn't touch it again, but I did it maybe 1 or 2 times.
It wasn't consistent.
It wasn't as consistent as you guys would think, but I didn't really try it again or get into it really hard till I was like maybe like 15 years old.
Yeah.
After I hit that 15-year-old mark, that you start entering high school, and you get a little bit different influences in your life and stuff like that. That's when like I hit it off.
Yeah.
And around that same time, like, we met each other.
Yeah, we met when we were 16, so that's why I say his thing is probably like a year and a half before mine. Because even when I tried it for the first time when I was 15, but even after that, I didn't really do it until I was, like, we started dating. Like, not to blame you, because I'm not blaming you, but realistically, like, the group we were in like probably did it, but I felt a little bit like more like I had to be responsible, so I wouldn't do it. Like, or we would garden, but it wasn't like gardening. It was like the Benjamin gardening, and it was still not like it wasn't like, you know, like it wasn't like, oh, I do this. Like it wasn't like I garden. Like I've gardened, but it's not like that's something I used to do.
Yeah, so, I can definitely tell that we were for sure the bad influences. Like our boy group with her girl group, you know.
They did it already though. It was just like they made it accessible.
Yeah, but
like, it was easier to get.
Y'all wasn't doing it like that.
No,
y'all wasn't doing it. We was doing it like that every day,
they were doing it like that. Yeah. So then once we started dating, like those groups collided, and like they did it a little bit more. But even then, I still wasn't really doing it as much until like it became kind of like a lifestyle thing. Like we got together, we were already together for a while, and like it was just like something we would do. Yeah. And then we moved in together, and then it was like something we would do every day because we were together every day. And then COVID, so like forget about it.
Yeah. But like I said, I mean, at that age, that probably seemed like something normal or more.
It was something normal. More normal. It wasn't anything that like someone else wasn't doing. And to tell you the truth, the biggest part of like the problem with us was that like we've always been so good and like so like on our shit that it was like you can't tell me anything because I'm still doing what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm still like, I mean, I wasn't doing roaming, guys. Like I was literally finishing high school and college. Like, what are you gonna tell me? Like, oh, you're gardening, like, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. So like you kind of get like that, like I don't know, like I guess like that sense of pride or like whatever.
Or that's just that sense like, oh, it's not doing anything to me because I'm still so on my shit that like it's not doing anything to me. And then that kept I mean, again, like 5 to 6. We're about to make 6 years now. So like. It's 5 to 6 years of that same mentality because for 5 to 6 years we've still been like as humbly as we can possibly say, like more on our shit than anybody else, like our age. You get what I mean? Yeah. Like still doing stuff that like it was still like okay, like even right now we could do it and like you can't tell me anything. Like we moved out, we work, like we're on our stuff, like we pay our bills, like
like we're doing what we're supposed to do.
To the outside world, we're doing everything we're supposed to do. Yeah. And more.
Yeah. Now the problem is to us, like what we thought about like ourselves and like about our work ethic and the work we put in and the laziness that it brought to us, and that was the main thing that was the issue with, you know, gardening for us, because as much as we wanted to say that, we could work with it, and we told that lie to ourselves like
for years
on top of years, like that we were like, oh no, we're okay, like come on, like bro, we're gonna only do it at night and this and that, and then we would find ourselves a day that we didn't work or that we were home, and then we would do it during the day, and then we would completely like sleep and not do content or like not do the stuff that we're supposed to do. So those were the kind of like the issues that we were encountering with gardening.
And honestly, like to be completely honest, content is the biggest factor in this decision that we made, because nothing else in our life really requires like that kind of like clarity of mind and that work ethic and like content does, because both of our jobs is like we can do in our sleep. Like I don't need to not garden to do that, you know what I mean? Not like I wouldn't garden to work, but I'm saying like it didn't affect what we were doing at all. Like if we didn't have this goal and this purpose of content and like what goals we have for ourselves, there would be no reason to stop. There would be no reason to stop. But because this just requires a higher level of us, like our highest self.
Yeah, more purity in a sense.
And more clarity and more work ethic and more discipline and more consistency than anything else. And as much as you want to tell yourself that doesn't affect any of those things, it most definitely does. Now, maybe for you it doesn't. But for us, like we came to a point where like we realized it did, because it's not the first time that we stopped trying to do this, like, or that we tried to stop doing this. When we did Vlogmas last year, or in 2023, we stopped doing it because it was like you can't you can't afford to be in, you know, like in an impaired state of mind because you have shit to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and and then it didn't really last long. By what Darlene means that we stopped doing it. We stopped doing it for like maybe like
a week.
Not even. I think it was like 3 days that we stopped, and then
it probably didn't let us do it as much as we would have. But if we wouldn't have been doing Vlogmas, like there was no reason to stop. Like there just was no reason to stop, literally. And it was probably something that we did honestly also just to like get away from the fact that like we weren't where we wanted to be. Like we weren't moved out. We weren't happy with like, you know, where we were in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
absolutely. And I mean, the point that was kind of like the point that we noticed that we had like an addiction, sort of to say. I say it in air quotes because like a lot of you are gonna take it as like, oh, that's not an addiction because it's not heroin or it's not like any other, or crack, like any other like crazier drug out there, because there are crazier drugs out there. But at the end of the day, like I said, it does impact different people in different ways. So you know, you can't really like say that like in your opinion that you know gardening is not as effective to you, but you know it is as effective to us.
And I mean, the thing is, like with anything, like that phrase or that comment of like, oh, it's not an addiction, is actually completely not a fact, because anything is an addiction. Like I could be addicted to making YouTube videos, I could be addicted to drinking water, like I could be addicted to going to the gym. Like anything that you do too much is not good for
anything
you.
that's done in excessive is like an addiction.
Even though we probably didn't even do it too much, like it was just like it still got in the way. Like it still got in the way. Like it was just something that like we found ourselves like choosing to do that over choosing to do other things that we knew we could be doing. Because why are you gardening if you didn't post today, or if you didn't do content, or if you didn't edit a YouTube video, or
or
whatever?
Why are you gardening like whenever you want to go out, or why are you gardening, or feel like you have to garden before you go out to the freaking grocery store, or to throw out the trash, or I don't know like something that crazy. That's how we like kind of like came to a realization that it's like, yo, like what's going on? Like why do we need to do this? Why do we like? And it wasn't like that we needed to do it either.
But it's just like we wanted to.
Like we wanted
like, you always
to do
wanted
it.
to.
Like you always wanted to.
And it was, I don't know who it was actually your godfather that told us that. Like everybody loves to say, which we love to say, like, oh, I can stop whenever I want to. And it's like, but like you never want to. No, you can.
Yeah,
you don't want to.
But like can
so you, since you don't want to, like you're never gonna stop.
Can you really though? Like everybody says that, oh, I can stop whenever I want to, I can stop this and that, but then the same people that say that never do it.
Or struggle to do it, which is
struggle
nothing wrong
to do
with
it.
There's nothing wrong with struggling. Like that's gonna happen. Because
But at the end of the day, you just gotta be honest with yourself. To be honest, like you gotta be honest with you. That's like the first rule of like an addiction. You gotta like come to a realization.
Accept that you have an addiction.
That you have an addiction, or that you are dependent on that certain drug, or depending on that certain thing you're doing. You get me? That's kind of the more major thing to it. So as soon as you realize that, and as soon as you come to that realization, you'll figure it out.
And the thing is more also just like, it's not like we didn't know, guys. Like whenever we met anyone that hadn't gardened, if the topic came up, I would always be like, if you haven't tried it, like don't. Because you're gonna like it and you're gonna keep doing it. So like, how are you gonna tell someone to not do it because you know like what the effects are, and then like still come home and do it? Like that doesn't make sense.
You're being a hypocrite.
Like you're being a hypocrite, and you clearly don't even love yourself enough to do what's best for you, because you know it's not what's best for you. You keep doing it, so then you are addicted. Because why do you keep doing something you know is not good for you? Like
at the end of the day, we're not here to like be like mom and dad.
No, at all.
Be like,
we're
yo,
saying
y'all gotta stop too, like this and that.
But I mean, I hope this does kind of like, you know, give you the little, like, y'all, we used to go on Instagram, and the videos that would talk about like why gardening was bad for you, like we would literally scroll past them because we didn't want to hear it.
Yeah, for real. We would scroll past them like, I'm not trying to hear this shit.
That's crazy. Like, so it's like, you do know, you just don't want to hear it, because if you hear it and you know that you're right, you know that you understand that it's true, and then you go home and you still do it, like
you're gonna have a guilty conscience. You're gonna have a guilty conscience at the end of the day, because you're gonna be like, damn. I mean, it could be true, but fuck it, like why not? Like, I still want to do it. I want to keep doing it, you know. But the more important thing is to just come to that realization and like feel like you don't have to do it or depend on it to be able to live, or to be able to do anything.
And the reality is, guys, like if it doesn't affect you and you're able to do everything that you set your mind to, without it affecting you, then that's amazing.
Yeah.
But for us, like, it wasn't even about gardening. Like, when this decision came about, it really wasn't about that. Like, it was just about how we knew we weren't doing the things we needed to do. We weren't where we wanted to be with content. We weren't, like, in a lot of places of our life, we just weren't doing, like, our utmost or putting our utmost effort. So when you look back, all we had to do was sit down and be like, okay, what's affecting this?
Yeah, and
there was just one thing.
And to be completely cut and dry with you guys, it's not. I'm not saying that we'll never ever try it again, and that we're never gonna go ahead and do it again because, like I said, we're only 22, and once we got our shit figured out and we have more space for margin of error.
Yeah. Once we're good, like then
we'll do it. But
we in this stage of life where we're in, this year is really just about like.
Yeah, we kind of just want to get our shit straight.
Yeah, this year's like about like putting all of our effort into stuff, like being very focused, being very locked in, like.
Effectively. Once we like set our mind that we're gonna stop doing it as 2 peas in 1 pod.
Yeah. Everything showed us like we
the universe has just like been like.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Sprinkled like.
And don't get me wrong, it's not even like we were doing bad. Like that's the thing. Like that's why like I understand how it can look like unnecessary. Not that I imagine what it looks like to anyone else, but I'm saying like I get how it can look unnecessary because our views weren't doing bad. We weren't doing bad, but we weren't doing good. Like we weren't posting every week on YouTube like we said we were gonna do beginning of 2024 as one of our like vision board things for like D&D. Like we weren't doing a bunch of shit that we said we were gonna do. So why are you like and like I don't know, people can have different mindsets on this because I know a lot of people are like live a little, like you know, like you can't be so and like I get it, but
I don't at the same time.
Like I get it, but
that's not the way we
that's
think.
what it takes, guys. Like at the end of the day, like for you to get where you want to be with bigger goals, like I mean if you don't have whatever, like that's you and that's fine. With the goals that we have, like you can't just give bare minimum. Like you can't let yourself live a little. Like no, you can't, because living a little costs you a lot. Like living a little costs you a lot. So you can't live a little. You have to be fucking on top of yourself, and you have to be a little bit cutthroat. And I don't know if y'all know who. What is his name, bro? The one that everybody says he's a little crazy.
Who?
David.
Goggins?
David Goggins. Like you kind of gotta be like that. If y'all don't know about him, you gotta listen to him. Cause he'll make you feel like shit about yourself. For sure.
He's a little intense with this shit, but I feel his vibe though, for real. Like it does come from a place of acknowledgement and understanding where his like knowledge is coming from. Yeah. But he is a little intense. But you know, at the end of the day, this might not be you guys. And
listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. Not the problem, because it's not a problem. The thing with us and something we've realized from when we were little and now being together and growing together and shit is like nothing in our life has ever come easy. Ever. Like something that would have been easy for someone else, someone that would have grown from one video, like someone like, you know, some like other people have done it. Like we've seen other people like blow up like from something like little, and it's like everything blows up and whatever. And maybe that's the funny thing, like maybe we are seeing that and it really wasn't that they blew up fast. Like maybe they put the same work in that we've put in, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But my point is like nothing in our life has ever come easy, ever. Moving out didn't come easy, like growing on social media didn't come easy. Our relationship is probably the easiest thing that came, and it's still like not easy. Like you get what I mean? Like nothing has ever come easy in our life. Like it's just like we are the generational curse breakers in our families, and both of them. So like it's not gonna be easy.
And we wouldn't want it any other way.
And we wouldn't want it any other way.
The shit that comes easy leaves easy.
Of course, but my point is with this, like if we know that, then you have to know that it takes a different kind of. It takes a different kind of effort. You can't be like everybody else. Like it's not gonna come easy. Like you chilling and chilling at home because you think that you got a house now and you're good and you have a job and you're doing good and you're still better than everybody else who's 22 and you're good. Like you're not doing anything else to yourself but a disservice because you're fucking lying to yourself.
Yeah, you still gotta put in that work, bro.
You still have to put in that work.
Don't think you're fucking God and shit, like, you know.
No, like it's just because and because maybe it does look like to other people like shit, like it did. Wow, damn, they're 22, like they whatever. That shouldn't come easy. Like that was a good 5 years of work, man. A good 5 years of heartache and a good 5 years of being like, yo, like,
and
it's been a good 5 years.
And
like,
we're still not where we want to be. We still got mad work to do. We wake up every day unsatisfied, and I know it sounds
in a grateful way.
In the most grateful way ever. Yeah. I know it sounds crazy, but we do wake up every day unsatisfied with, as far as like where we are with social media, which is, you know, our niche. Yeah. So to say.
Like that's our
that's
focus.
what we work towards. That's what we try to do. Like, you know, that's what that's the big bubble, and that's the big dream that we look at in life, or like 5 years, 3 years, whatever the number is. That's what we look at. So, you know, it kind of does put us in like a little not a situation, but it does put us in a little state of mind that's completely different from a lot of people, just because a lot of people nowadays or our age are like, you know, doing completely different stuff,
doing things that you're supposed to do when you're 22.
You're supposed to do when you're 22. So, you know,
there's nothing wrong with it, really.
And there isn't nothing wrong with it, absolutely not. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, you guys are fucking idiots for fucking going out and partying and being in frat houses and being like, bruh,
that's what you're supposed to do when you're 22.
Yeah, like that's what you're supposed to do. Like, that doesn't mean that that's what we're supposed to do.
You or what we want to do.
Or what we want to do. Yeah. At the end of the day, it is what it is. This is the goal that we have set for ourselves, and we have.
And it just takes a little bit more work than other things. And I mean, it's not like you can't start doing this when you're 25.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Putting this kind of work in is what I mean with anything that you're doing. It's just like from the beginning, from even right when we met, like everything has been about getting shit fast. Like not getting shit fast, but like wanting to be good like as soon as we possibly can, because we can't really afford to wait until we're 27.
Absolutely. Yeah, we didn't grow up with a wealthy family. We didn't grow up with like a family that had money. We didn't grow up with a family that even had like enough intellectual intelligence to like survive out here for real. Yeah. Like, you know, they did what they had to do because it is,
and what
they could do, because at the end of the day you have to survive. But we're, like we told you guys, like we mentioned already, we want to be the curse breakers in the family, and you know, having to breakers. Yeah, I mean, we are gonna be the curse breakers. You're right. Thank you for correcting me. in our family and shit, you get me? So
it just takes a little bit more effort, and you have to realize that, because, you know, it is what it is. If you don't realize it now, you're literally just delaying your dream and your goals and everything.
You just let life go by and pass by, and then definitely like chiefing or gardening doesn't help
because you literally disassociate. Dissociate. I don't know how you say that. Like, you just like, it's just like you literally let life pass by. Like, the days would just pass by. Like, we would garden, we would work all day, we would come home, we would make content, we would not make content, we would garden, we would eat, we would knock out. We would wake up the next day, we would do the same thing all over again.
And the bigger thing that we would see, which might like sound kind of like fucked up, or like might sound like kind of like a little bit weird to the people that we like have, or like the people that we see, or the people that we used to look up to, was that you guys are at a certain age, like 40s, 50s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, you know, and you guys are nowhere near
where we want to
be.
But again, like,
and then you guys are still doing the gardening,
which is nothing wrong.
Which there's nothing wrong with it, but
it's just not where we want to be at.
Yeah, but we kind of, well, I mean, to me there is something wrong with that, because by that age, shit, we want to be.
Yeah, but it's wrong for us. Like, it's not wrong.
It's wrong for us for you to be.
If you're happy where you're at, then that's.
It's wrong for us for you to be 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever age, doing the deed, gardening, and not being where you want to be. Yeah. For us, that's like a no-go, because it's like, all right, you really like don't give a fuck at the end of the day, or not don't give a fuck, but you're really not putting in that work.
You're just chilling, and that's where I was coming with the thing about, like, maybe it sounds a little intense to people, but like for us, like, the mindset and perspective that we put on us, which might be a little bit tough, like, and it is what it is like, you don't need to be chilling or having fun if you're not doing what the fuck you're doing. Okay guys, the camera cut off. Yeah. But what I was saying just to like speed things along, is that the mindset that we have for ourselves is that we don't need to be chilling if we're not doing the things that we need to do, because chilling is going to do absolutely nothing for us, and you don't need to relax now.
Yeah.
Now is when you have the energy. Now is when you have that goal like straight in your head, like yo, grind. Like now it's easy to grind. Now you don't have kids. Like now, yo, whatever the fuck happens, like it's just us two and our dogs. Like we can figure it out. It's not the same as like trying to figure it out like after we have kids, that we have more things that depend on us.
Yeah.
So that is our mindset with it. Like we don't need to be chilling, and at the end of the day, gardening is chilling. Like you're chilling, you are giving yourself grace that you don't need to give yourself, because you give yourself enough fucking grace already. Like you already relax enough. You don't need to relax more.
Yeah.
Like,
and to cut the story short, we're glad to say that it might sound crazy, but we are
25 days.
25 days in with no smoking and no intention to even want to chief or garden. I know I just said the S word, but we have no intention to do it when we're kind of not interested. We've been around people who are doing it right in front of us, and
it actually feels really good to know that we haven't, and that we haven't given, and that we don't even want to. And again, like he said before, like it's actually so cool. I mean, maybe it's us being superstitious, but like the way everything has played out since the second that we decided that we were gonna stop doing this has just been like ultimate confirmation that we're doing exactly what we need to do.
Growth.
Everything has grown. Every platform has grown. You guys have grown. Like YouTube has grown in an immense way. Like we were at 1,500 when the year started.
Not even like 800. What you mean?
Right.
800 subs. And we just,
I think right now we're at 5,000 something.
Like 5.5 or something like that.
Which is still nothing close to what we want to be, but it's just like, wow, like it's a little bit like...
I mean, I am going to put a rocket up my ass. Shit. I mean, that is some subscribers, because we have been putting more work in than we ever did in like 2024 on YouTube. So, you know. But yeah, guys, we don't want the camera to die. We just kind of wanted to go ahead and
let you guys know
what was going on in our life as far as like this big decision that we made.
Yeah, and hopefully this little thing kind of opens up the eyes of other people to different perspectives, because it is about perspectives. You can tell yourself that you're doing good, but imagine how much better you would be doing if you weren't impairing yourself every day.
Yeah. So we love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
We hope you like this video.
If you guys like more videos like this or more sit-down videos, just let us know, and we will bring that type of content to you guys. So.
We love you guys. Make sure you check out our next video and all the videos after and before that, and we will see y'all. Bye.
Millions press.